Thank you for tuning in to Sacred Empowerments of the Divine Feminine. How are you doing? Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you so much to my returning subscribers, to my returning viewers for your support of this channel, of me. Thank you so much to all of my new viewers. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm feeling very calm today. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. I am enjoying mine. Just in a very calm place, spending a lot of time doing a lot of introspection. And we've been talking a lot in this season of Sacred Empowerments about new beginnings, new timelines, walking through the door towards our destined abundance, destined prosperity, our purpose, and moving away from the old, the old timeline. There's a very special message that the mother has for us today. So I just want you to relax and just, listen to what she has to say from her heart space to yours. I remember about 4, maybe even 5 years ago now, when I first really began pursuing the Great Mother and learning of her and returning to her. There was a moment where when she began to speak to me, and she said some things that really caught me by surprise. Because if you're, living in the third dimension, which I'm sure you are if you're listening to me, right? We have historically been pointed and directed to this energy and frequency that we have called God, we have called Lord, we have called the Most High. And the mother is different. She's different in her vibration. She's different. As the feminine aspect of the Most High, she is very different. Okay? And the way she communicates is different. And I remember about 4 years ago, 4.5, maybe 5 years ago, when she first began to communicate to me her her sorrow, right? And her empathy. And even more so when she began to apologize to me. And at first, I was like, wait a minute. This is not what deities do. This is not what gods do. This is not what God has never apologized to me. To me? No, I've been hella repentive towards him. I was taught to do so. I was taught that I was a sinner saved by grace. I was taught that I must repent. I was taught that in all of my righteousness I am as a filthy rag. I was put in the mindset to be constantly begging for his forgiveness. And it wasn't until she began to ask me for mine that I even had the fraction of an inclination that that was even needed or possible, right? It was very weird at first. And the first time she apologized to me, I kind of communicated to her, you don't owe me an apology. But then as I began to learn, and as I began to grow as a divine feminine, as I began to heal from past life trauma, current life trauma, things that I had long forgotten, she came back and apologized again. And the second time she apologized, I embraced her apology. I accepted. And so this is going to sound weird. This message may sound weird for you. But today, as I was sitting here, as I always do before I begin to record, I asked her what she wanted to say to us today concerning new beginnings and concerning the shift that we're all feeling, that we're making, the abundance that we're about to step into, the new life, the fresh start. What does she want to say to us? And again, she wants to share her apology. And again, I'm sitting here kind of like, Mother, you don't owe an apology. But she's the mother. She's feminine. She's empathetic. She's nurturing. This is an aspect of her nurturing quality. And it's not because she's done something wrong, see? And it's not that. And I think that when we hear apology, I know for me, I know when I heard her the first time, I just immediately was like, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, how can you conceptualize that someone as so great and grand as she could have done something wrong that she needed to apologize for? But it's not about her being wrong. It's about her being mother. And she's apologizing because she wants us to know that she is aware of the difficult choices that we have had to make. She is aware of the difficult situations that we have been in, that we have had to fight and sacrifice and fight to come out of. She is also aware that even with us stepping into this new beginning, that we will still have to fight for every inch of progress in our journey. More specifically, her apology is surrounding the fact that we have loved families, we have loved people, friends, spouses, partners. We have given to those in our environment, in our life, as best we could. And this new beginning is bringing such a change as it relates to who it is that will be allowed to go into your new beginning with you. Many of the people that we have loved, that we have served, some willingly, some not so willingly, tired, exhausted, frustrated, we have served in our joy, in our pain, in our healing, in our trauma. And more often than not, we have been met with indifference. We have been met with abuse. We have been met with intimidation. We've had fear returned to us for our grace. Her apology is not because she's done something wrong. Her apology is because we are her daughters. And we have been conditioned to believe that deity does not feel, really. As long as we are willing to worship, as long as we are willing to bow down, as long as we are willing to martyr our dignity, our divinity, then deity has all but abandoned the awakening that we have been going through as a collective. is not just about spiritual rhetoric, concepts, rituals. It's not about, it's not just about the changing of the mind. It's not about appearing to have all the answers or appearing to be intellectually conscious of spiritual things. The awakening is about progressively retrieving what you have been fanned to sleep towards. The deeper you go in your spiritual awakening, the more you realize just how much you have been asleep to as it relates to your position, your power, who you actually are, and who you have been shaped to be in the earth. The deities that were placed before us, the deity, has quite frankly at least in my opinion, and I'm being very careful with my words for a reason, but the deity that was placed before us, in my opinion, has shown itself to be anything but empathetic, caring. So when the mother says she apologizes, it does come at a surprise. But it also further confirms and validates for me that the path that I'm on is the correct one. If you are forging your relationship and healing and renewing and restoring your relationship to the Great Mother as her daughter, you are absolutely on the right path, and do not let anybody or anything convince you of differently. And believe me, they will try. But she has seen every tear. She's felt every crack that was created in your heart space, every fragment. The sorrow, she's apologizing today to us for the fact that many of us are in isolation, not lonely, but alone. Even with people around, you may feel like an anomaly. There is a bit of aloneness that comes with being an anomaly. You're a glitch. You're different. You're unique. She sees that we are alone. Many of us, not all of us. In one way or another. Like I said, it could even just be in the fact that you stand out amongst those with whom you're around, and who are around you. This new beginning has required you to be alone. This new beginning and stepping into it and being prepared for it and being ready for it has required a season of being alone. Sometimes that's okay, you know. I mean, sometimes we just be like, do you look at the things other people be still yet going through because they just busybodies in other men's matters and stuff all the time, and they always doing something, or they're not really pursuing the truth of their spiritual evolution, or whatever the case may be. Just still on an old timeline, people still in, you know, karmic patterns and things like that. And this is not to shade anybody or to judge where anybody else is in their journey, right? But when you have created for yourself a safe space that has caused you to be alone in order to continue to enjoy safety, you look and you be like, well, I'll be all right. I'm okay, go. I'm good over here by myself. Most of the times it's how you feel. You know, if you're going to have people around you, you need people around you that are healing, are healed, high vibrational, down to earth, good people, good energy. And then there are times where the aloneness gets on your nerves. And it is not because you can't go fill your life back up with karmic people, because you can. But it's a chosen aloneness because the options to be in the presence of people who are aligned with you are not there. There's that alone when you don't see the options. But the new beginning, the new timeline, the coming out of the karmic cycle has required you to make the difficult choice to let certain people go. And it is not because you don't love them. It is not because you don't care. But maturation causes for you to make difficult choices. For that, she is apologizing that we're having to experience this. Not because she is wrong, not because it is wrong, but because it is hard. It is challenging. It does cause for you to have to revisit the hurt, the disappointment. You went through it one time already. But to heal it, you go through it again. You revisit it again. Closure is not always the easiest thing. Failed relationships is not the easiest thing. the schemes, the plotting that you've had people do against you to stop, to delay, to stagnate, to break you down, to keep you out of your birthright. As a mother, she is showing her empathy and reminding us that she sees, she knows, she felt it with you. What I love about her the most is she governs the within. She's not outside of you. She's in you. She felt it with you. There are icons of her that we can see in the outside world, but her governance is the inner world. And maybe that's why God, in his masculine projection, don't really deal in empathy. Because he can't feel. I don't know. I don't know. I use the term God loosely, meaning the generic mass idea of God that we've all been under for this age, right? But the mother feels. The mother governs the within. So she wants us to know today, Divine Feminines, that they cannot go with you. For some, this is going to be confirmation. For some, this is going to be a reminder. For some, this is going to be a shock. But that person, those people, especially those who made the choice to sow karmic seeds into the field of your life, into the field of your heart, into the field of your mind, those individuals they cannot go with you in this new beginning. Don't let the nature of a karmic relationship keep you from stepping into your new beginning. On the other side of that door, there is new relationships. There are people who understand you. There are people who vibrate in divine love. On the other side of your new beginning, as you step through that door, you're going to step into new friendships, new partnerships with people who have also had to let people go in order for them to step into their new beginning, right? It is not easy Because as the mother, so are the daughters, and we love intensely, and we have empathy, and we nurture, and we see potential in others, and we care. But this is a season where caring for yourself must be your first priority. And so because of that, they cannot go. Their reason for being in your life has already been fulfilled. Ironically, many of them will not know this. They will feel like you're acting brand new. You're acting different. You're weird now. You done got into this spirituality and you're acting weird now. But they may not understand what you are being called to understand. That they have fulfilled their purpose as a karmic. They have fulfilled their purpose in your life. That jealousy that they show up with, that envy, that phoniness, that judgmentalness that they tend to show up with, that intimidation that they tend to project, the scheming, the plotting that they tend to do, the offense, that they tend to show up in is no longer needed. The mother is saying they've done what they were supposed to do. Forgiveness on your part is when you realize that it could have been no different. However it played out, whatever it was, whoever it was, it could have been no different. It wasn't supposed to be. There's a relief, right? And a beauty. And something to be celebrated when you realize that I don't need that lesson anymore. I don't need that nudge. I don't need that to remind me that I'm better than this. I know now that I am better than this. I know now that that does not honor me. I know now that it is my responsibility to honor me. I don't need that lesson. And so, no, they cannot go with you. your new timeline, your new shift, your new beginning that you are crossing into, that you have forged for yourself, is designed to not teach you who you are, but the world and the people in it are now going to validate what you have discovered about yourself, that you are to be honored, that you are to be loved divinely, that you are to be protected. The world is now going to validate what you have discovered about yourself. And this is not to say that, there won't be some who will try to slide into the shadows and weasel their way into your light, right? Like, it's always going to be someone trying to replace your light with their darkness. But because of where you are vibrating at, it's a lost cause. That's a lost cause. Letting them go is saying to the universe that you are ready to receive what you deserve. Letting them go, whoever them is for you, is saying to your heart that I take full responsibility in protecting you. Because your heart is not only designed to give love, it is designed to receive it. We can't be or remain so fixated on the giving that we neglect our own heart from the receiving by keeping people around in our presence, in our life, in our environment who refuse to give divinely, in wholeness, in wellness, in health, love. We can't deprive our heart space in this new timeline. This is why they cannot go. Because not only did they not give it when they should have, but they've done everything they could to keep you from receiving it. They've done their job, because in them doing that, you learned that the love you're supposed to receive first is from yourself. You got that lesson. Your heart will never be deprived of love now, because you know that the first giver is you. Her apology is to say, I know the cross that you have had to carry. I know I was there. I've always been there. It reminds me when Jesus was on the cross and they said that he said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? But he couldn't say that to his mother. He couldn't say that to his mother because his mother was standing there with him while he was dying. She's always been there. She's with you now. Whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, as you cross over into this new beginning, there are some residual things that may need to be released. Some residual ideas you have about people and what they did and how they did it and what they did or what they didn't do. How it made you feel. How they didn't take accountability. Let them go. Because you're there now. You're there now. We've not only experienced this individually, but collectively, there's just been and still is a general overuse of power, a misuse of power, an abuse of power. Power dynamics on this planet right now are all out of whack in the earth, in the world, that is. It's all out of whack. And because we are in it, we observe it. Sometimes we feel it. Sometimes in error, we take it in. Sometimes in not knowing better, we take it in. Sometimes in feeling defeated, we take it in. Sometimes in fear, we take it in. And so she feels that too. It is very important going forward, she's saying, that the vision you have for yourself, that you do everything you can, use every tool to keep that vision in front of you and at the forefront of your mind. There's a point when a woman is given birth where she ain't thinking about nothing else but getting this baby out of me. You know? Get this shit out of me. And right when she's at that point, whether it come at the first contraction or the last one, I don't know. Whenever it comes, where it's like I can't, that last, that you got one more push. One more. You're tired. You're exhausted. Shit hurt. You're in pain. And you'll hear the doctor say, one more. You can do it. as you have to push one more time. You've been laboring for years. You've been pushing for months to bring forth what you're bringing forth. And many of you are standing at the one more push. The one more push. That push could be a decision you need to make. That push could be sacrifice. One more sacrifice. That push could be that last relationship that you need to let go of. That push could be the last little bit of closure that you need to give yourself because whoever, whatever, whenever didn't come back and give it to you. That last push could be you finally making up your mind to release. She nurtures us today by acknowledging how strong, how courageous, fearless, fierce we have had to be to bring ourselves to this new beginning. It ain't no cakewalk. This ain't no prancing around in a field of daisies ass experience. It's birth. It's bloody. It's a lot of fluids and tearing. And many of us have had to do it alone. And I think the point of her apology is so we know that we have never been alone. Not for 1 second. Many, many, many ages now have we been consciously separated from the feminine aspect of divinity. And in all the time that has gone by, and if you're like me and you study the Great Mother throughout history, throughout the myths, if you have studied the suppression of the feminine aspect, if you have seen, if you have observed, if you've taken any amount of time to observe the complexities of deception as it relates to her, then you really, like I do, should take solace in the fact that she saw it all, heard it all, felt it all. And you've never been alone. She's never not been there. Although they tried hard to remove her. And to be honest, I don't even know why they went so hard, because how can you? How can you remove the womb from creation? How can you remove the mother from the child? There's no child without the mother. There's no coming to without the womb. But they tried. And they failed. And they always will fail until they stop trying. This has been Sacred Empowerments of the Divine Feminine. Thank you so much, my sisters, for taking time to hear what the Mother has to say to us today. I hope that this message found you and empowered, enlightened, encouraged you. Please take a moment to hit the like button. Show your support of the channel, of our community that we're building. It really does help push it into the algorithm, so other divine feminines who may not know that we're here can have an opportunity to tap in. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. I'll probably be reposting again in another couple of days, but we'll see if the spirit says the same. My spirit, that is. Continue to enjoy the rest of your day, your night, your week, your evening, and I will see you soon. Peace, family.